Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane Nivishesha Sunyavadi Paskatya Desatarne. So, I have a bit of a problem with the text size. Can someone maybe sing it before for everybody else to repeat? Can someone take this up? To sing the, where we are, which verse? Yatkarmanam patramapara karmanam Yagyogamaya guna yogamohitam Vishvam samastam bhagavan vedisam Savai vatava janamasi saṭā-śikhoddhūta Yakamanam paramapara karmanam Yadyogamaya guna yogamiham Vishvam samastam bhagavan vehitam Savai vadava vasamasti vishate Yakamanam paramapara karmanam Yadyogamaya guna yogamohitam Vishvam samastam bhagavan vaitisam Savai vadava savati savai savati Yatkarmanam paramapara karmana Yadyogamaya Vimṛjyamānā samasam yagavamaisam Yadyogamaya guna yogamohitam Vishvam samastam bhagavan viditam. Danke. O Lord, there is no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. Mental speculation who want to understand the limits of the unlimited are certainly nonsensical. Every one of them is captivated by the external potencies of the Lord. The best thing for them is to surrender unto Him, knowing Him to be inconceivable, for thus they can receive His causeless mercy. This prayer was offered by the inhabitants of the higher planetary systems, namely the janas, tapas and Satyalokas, who are far more intelligent and powerful than humans. Vishvam samastam is very significant here. There are the material world and the spiritual world. The sages pray. Both worlds are bewildered by your different energies. Those who are in the spiritual world are absorbed in your loving service, forgetting themselves, and thus also, and you also, and those in the material world are absorbed in the material sense gratification, and therefore also forget you. No one can know you because you are unlimited. It is best not to try to know you by unnecessary mental speculation. Rather, kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotional service. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pasaya Bhutali Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine. Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Vacharine Nivishesha Sunyavadi Bhaskatyari Sataya. O Lord, there's no limit to your wonderful activities. Anyone who desires to know the limit of your activities is certainly nonsensical. Everyone in this world is conditioned by the powerful mystic potencies. Please bestow your causeless mercy upon these conditioned souls. So herewith, on this occasion, for me, first time to be allowed to speak in Mayapur, I thank you very much for the opportunity. However, as you can understand, I'm very nervous. So I hope Krishna is going to give me proper words to speak to you. And I don't know if anyone knows who I am. I am Mother Dina Sharana Devidasi, GBC for Germany, Austria, Liechtenstein, and Switzerland for the past 25 years. And I am ending my GBC career at this GBC meeting, and my successor that I've been training for the past more than 15 years is going to take up the service. And I'm very thankful to the devotees, the GBC and the devotees, and especially the devotees in Germany, for accepting me as a GBC for all these years and cooperating with me as good as they could. And I'm very thankful to Srila Prabhupada to have given me this wonderful, incredible opportunity to serve Prabhupada's mission. Who are we? As it says here, we are insignificant living entities. Teeny, teeny, teeny small. Very small. And we are very, very fortunate to somehow or other have come in touch with this wonderful movement. So many years back, there was not even any books at that time or anything. We didn't know anything. We learned the songs just by hearing. And even today, I see lots of us, we are speaking the text wrongly because we took it up by hearing without ever seeing a text before. And we built up this whole movement just by hearing. Prabhupada was saying something, someone heard it, and that was repeated, and we heard it, and then we did it. So many years, so many years, so many years. And this movement has grown, has become a wonderful international society for Krishna consciousness all over the world. The Hare Krishna movement in every home is actually already known and heard of. And at the beginning, in the country where I grew, devotees, when we go on Harinam, devotees would spit at us and throw stones and curse us for going to work rather than wasting the government's money and being on the street and chanting Hare Krishna. Now, so many years have passed. So many things have changed in this world. And after 50 years of my November last year, I was 50 years in this movement. Somehow or other, last week we went on Harinam, and see there, all of a sudden, the people who were cursing us before, they are telling us on the street to their friends, these people are peaceful. These people, they are teaching us to be vegetarian for so many years, and we didn't listen to them. And now the environment is rebelling, and we begin to understand. These people already understood this more than 50 years back, and we cursed them. And now they are the peaceful. The world is in war all over the place. People are fighting, and anyway, I don't need to. Everybody knows. And now, all of a sudden, the Hare Krishnas, they stand out more and more and more after all these years in the Western countries where actually people are extremely sinful, drinking, smoking, illicit sex life, and whatnot. So, all of a sudden, because we stuck to it, and we did not allow ourselves to be bewildered by the environment, by all the curses and the bad treatments. We continue for Krishna. And now we are starting to reap the fruits. And even Indian families who are coming to Europe, in general, an Indian family has a family priest already from birth, from family generations. And they have a hard time even getting initiated in ISKCON because they feel that they are betraying their family priests. So they have hesitations. But they are coming to us. And they say, we are Indians. We have family traditions. But now we're coming to the West, and our children are going to the Western schools, and there's no priests around to take care of us. Please, please, please teach my children to be proper devotees in this Western world. And they all of a sudden come to us to teach them, to train them, to make them brahmanas, and for them to actually follow up in their family traditions. So everything is changing, and it took so much time to fructify, to mature, and to come to an understanding what this movement is about and how important it is. And of course, Srila Prabhupada is expecting from us to preach, to represent him. We are actually, all of us, representative of Srila Prabhupada. Of course, many of us still think it's me, I take to Krishna consciousness, I am doing my program, my thing, and all these things. All right, better than nothing, but actually we are all of us representing Srila Prabhupada. So we have the responsibility to work on ourselves, our character, the way we present ourselves, the way we talk, the way we deal with the devotees, the way we deal with the public, the way we do everything we do, because even the karmis who think, oh, the Hare Krishna, they are just a bunch of young people, Haribo, and they have good foods, and that's about it. But still, they are all looking up to us, and they are very sharp in recognizing whether we behave properly or not. Because even out there, some of them, they have the ideal of making progress in their own moral attitudes and their own whatever educations for their children and all these things. But then they also realize that whatever they are acquiring is temporary, and they are looking to us. But if they see that we are not behaving properly, we're not talking properly, we are just doing our own program, not caring for Srila Prabhupada's mission and representing Lord Chaitanya and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, God. Everybody in the world knows God. The Muslims, the Christians, all of them, they worship God. But they don't know Him well because they are not taught properly. We are the only ones who can present God as He is. We know how He looks like. We know what He does every day. We know what He wants. We know how to worship Him, how to talk to Him. All these things. We know all this. But if we don't behave properly, then nobody can believe us. Also, we are sitting for hours chanting the holy name on our japas. This means we have the name of God on our tongue. But then if we go around and lie, what is the power of our chanting? What is we are cheating Krishna? Very simple. So all these things, they are so important to us in order to be able to represent Srila Prabhupada. You know, I'm not the youngest anymore now, and my future is no longer, oh, what will I do with my future? This means now it's like, what will I do with the time that's left? How will I use this time? And I think about Srila Prabhupada very often, that he came and for so many years he did all these wonderful things. It's just amazing. Not a normal human being would not be able to do any of it, not even a fraction of it. And he did all this. And still one day he had to pray to Krishna and say, my dear Lord, I invited you here and now I have to go. I leave you behind with these people. Hopefully they will take care of you properly, in honor, and worship you properly. And Prabhupada had to leave his whole achievement behind in our hands, hoping that all of us, we will take it serious and do something glorious with it in his name. So this is all of us, never mind whether we are in a leadership position or not. All of us, we are responsible to carry on Srila Prabhupada's mission properly. So here it says, mental speculation who want to understand the limit of the unlimited are certainly nonsensical. Even in a country like Germany, where science is actually quite prominent. For example, I know one pastor, he is a scientist. You probably know him also, maybe not by name, but you all heard that the black hole was discovered some years back. And for the first time, there was a picture made of a black hole. And this was a professor, he is a priest, a German priest in Germany. He's working at the university, and he had all his students, he made a group, all his students, and then sent them to all the places in the world where these big, how you call them? These big, observatory, to look in the sky. And everywhere, all over the world, where these prominent places were very high in the mountains, wherever they are. And he was able to coordinate all his students who were scattered all over the place to together focus all these observatories on the same spot at a certain time. And they actually were able, for a fraction of a second, to take a picture, which was undone before. And of course, he became very famous for this, and these pictures is shown all over the world, the proof that there are black holes. And then, of course, all the scientists were asking him questions because he's a scientist. And then he said, I may be a scientist, but in first place, I am a devotee of God. And without God, nothing of this would be able to. We would not be able to see it, we would not be able to understand it, and it would not even exist. And then he says what Srila Prabhupada says actually also. He says, all of us with all our intelligence, we are just an accumulation of zeros. Zero, zero. Everything, all our intelligence, everything, we are absolutely nonsensical. We have no effect on this universe. We are, but then he says, but mathematically, if you put a 1 in front of these zeros, all of a sudden, all these zeros, they become wonderful numbers, and they reveal all the powers that are in this universe, existing in this universe, and this power is only coming from God. He said, but the scientists, they will not tell you this, because they will lose their job. They are afraid to lose their job. They need to live. They need to also feed their families and all these things. So they will keep many things secrets from you. But if you believe in God, God will show you how wonderful and how unlimited He is. And this universe is a lot bigger than we can even imagine. So anyways, when I got in touch with this person through a report on the TV one day, I said, okay, I'm going to give him a Bhagavatam set. So I managed to send him a Bhagavatam set, and he actually replied to me. He said, this is just amazing. I didn't know this kind of literature exists, and that's going to change my life, because it just puts everything that I think I understood, it just explains it and puts it clear and confirms it that I'm right. There's no question this universe would not be if there wouldn't be a person with a superior intelligence that is controlling everything. And we are all parts and parts, a teeny part and parcels of God. So this is wonderful to hear from such a prominent scientist. So here it is that it's asking in the text, it says, the best thing for them is to surrender unto Him, the Supreme Personality of God, and knowing Him to be inconceivable. So by this we can get His causeless mercy. Just like all of us who are completely insignificant, we have received the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And with the little bit of intelligence that we are able to appreciate who He is on a very small scale. We still have no idea how great He is. But at least we have recognized that in this material world, we will not achieve anything. The savor of our life, the success of our life, is if we can actually completely surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, our intelligence, our emotions, our deeds, everything we do. There's nothing left except the service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then, here it says they are the material world and the spiritual world, and the sages pray. Both worlds are bewildered by your different energy. It is a fact, even as devotees, we are more and more bewildered because we realize more and more there's no chance for us to ever come close to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are in the spiritual world are absorbed in His loving service, forgetting themselves, and you also. And those in the material world are absorbed in material sense gratification, and therefore also they forget you. So actually everybody is forgetting. And these days in our small teeny temple where I live, we read the Nectar of Devotion, and we were talking about how Krishna leaves home every morning to go to the forest, and Mother Yasoda is there wondering, oh, my son, hopefully nothing will happen to him, and there's so many demons out there, and she's waiting all day, and then around 4 o'clock she's starting to see far, she sees a little dust. She says, oh, maybe he's on the way back, and then later a little more dust. Oh, he's approaching, and then more dust, all approaching, until finally he is there, and she's relieved that nothing happened to him. And she is praying to the Supreme Personality of Godhead to protect her son. So this is like for us. You would have talked about this maybe some 20, 30, or how many years ago all of us joined. You would have said, what is this? This is, what is the logical in this? There's no logical. Our brain was not even able to conceive this at the same time, one and different. It was impossible. But after so many years of chanting, hearing, believing, and Prabhupada is saying, accept my blessings. He has come to save all of us. And here we are. Sometimes I'm having a lot to do with Indian devotees. Oh, Mataji, blessings, blessings, blessings. You know, everybody's asking for blessing. I say, yes, you already have my blessing. The temple is here, Krishna is there. This is all the work that we've done for Krishna. Take the blessing. Stop asking for it. Take it and do something with it. Just to ask for blessings, and then it sits there, and then you go home and continue your nonsense. What's the use of it? So do something with all the blessings that you're getting. Do something, come. If you have time, come, do service. If you don't have time and you have money, give some money to help, and somebody else will do the service. Like that. And so Prabhupada actually gave us all these blessings, and we are blessed, in fact. We are blessed, in fact. And in fact, Krishna has seen us, in fact. It's just so amazing, because also myself, in due course of my spiritual development, many times I was thinking, yes, of course, here's an Indian man that came from India and is telling us this is God, and for some reason I believe it and surrender to it. How do I know that this is true? And we're talking about Krishna. How do I know that Krishna even knows me, or that I know him, or anything like this? But then by the attitude of accepting Krishna, simply accepting him, even if we don't understand everything, just to accept him and do what Prabhupada said, do service, that automatically will purify us and give us the understanding we need to fully understand and to realize that Krishna is actually seeing me. This nobody that I am. He's seeing me. He knows me better than I know myself. And he has somehow or other thought, hey, this Dina Sharana Mataji here, if I give her something to do, she'll do it. And he gave me, even though I have no education, I'm not a Prabhu, I'm not a Swami, I'm not... Still, he trusts me to do some service, and I was able to do some service for him, and I'm amazed that he trusts me to do this, even though I had no idea I would be able to do it. So that was the proof that Krishna must have seen me. Because if he didn't see me, and he doesn't know what I'm made out of, what my yearning is, what I'm looking for, the love I'm looking for, and even my own realization, material realizations, why not? Also, I'm a person, I have a body, I have some material desires, and they want to be fulfilled, and I have some ideas, some intelligence needs to be used. And Krishna knows all this, and he used all this. He took it and used it. And I'm just baff. I'm thinking, wow, I never thought of it. I never asked for this. Krishna did it. He picked me to do these things. How did it happen? Because somehow or other I let it happen. I accepted it. Prabhupada says it's just like a mother who takes care of the child. the child cries and this and that. The mother loves the child, but once in a while the mother has to change the diapers. Not so nice, but it has to be done. So you do what is necessary out of love. And so if each one of us simply takes the opportunity that Krishna is giving us to serve him, more than just what's comfortable, even beyond your zone of comfort. Because it's easy, as long as it's comfortable, it's easy. But as soon as it becomes difficult, as soon as criticals are coming, as soon as people are coming to you, hey, Mataji, you're just a Mataji, what are you talking about? Yeah. I say, yes, Prabhu. I tell you, I have a story when I became GBC. Why are you GBC? You're a Mataji. Why you become GBC? Prabhupada says that the Matajis should cook and take care of the kids and all this. I say, yes. Prabhu, I said, you're right. I have children. I took care of my children. I raised them. I did all that. And then I asked this Prabhu, and I said, Prabhu, how long have you been around? I've been around for so many years, blah, blah. I said, okay, Prabhu. I said, you know, you have had plenty of time to take my position and do the job. You didn't do it, so now there was nobody else left than to pick me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And then there's nothing more he could say. And at that time, God bless Kadamba Kanana Swami, he was sitting next to me, happened to be, and when I was asked to speak, I asked him, I said, Maharaj, I cannot speak in front of you, you please speak. He said, no, I give class every day, now it's your turn. I said, so with his permission, I spoke. And then when this happened, then he jumped up. He said, yes! She is prepared to do the job. Nobody else was. Therefore, now you have to follow her. All right. So then also I have understood that if I want people to work with me, I have to be very humble. Otherwise, they are not prepared to follow me. So, you know, we have to use our intelligence in the service of Krishna. And here it says, like Mother Yasoda, she forgot that her son is the Supreme Personality of God, that she forgot. But the world out there also forgets that God is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And even us, we forget that God is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And every day we are struggling to get up, chant our rounds, and keep clean and do our services and attend to all the demands of the devotees and the needs and the financial situation. This is a superhuman job. We cannot even imagine how difficult it is. And none of us are really qualified to do this kind of job, none of us. And this is why we also make so many mistakes. But one of the mistakes we made is also the biggest mistake is when a devotee makes a mistake, then all of a sudden we're merciless with them. We completely forgot how much actually these devotees did for Srila Prabhupada, and without them, this all wouldn't exist. And then we finish them off. So much so they have to run away and think that if they don't get their families out of town, they might be killed or something. This is not acceptable. Of course, we all make mistakes, all of us. But if we are doing our service for fear of making mistakes, we will never do anything. So it's part of it. And we have to learn to deal with these things properly. What else? Please tell me when time is up. What is it? No one can know you because you are unlimited. So it's no mental speculation is necessary. Rather, we just surrender unto him and accept what's coming up to us every day and do that. And at the end, the result will be there all of a sudden. We will be, I always give the interest, somebody who is knitting a pullover. It's how to say, stitch by stitch. One stitch, one stitch, one stitch, one stitch. It's amazing. It's a teeny, teeny stitch. At the end, you have a nice pullover. It's amazing. So for us, it's the same. It's stitches after stitches. With our good character, with our good attitude, with our good chanting, with our good relationships, this movement will grow. And the purpose of the movement will be achieved at the end. But if we misuse this movement for our own comfort, our own well-being, for our own, and forget the mission that actually we owe to Srila Prabhupada, this movement is going to go to hell at the end, because people are looking at us and they see in a magnet all the mistakes we are doing and all the nonsense and all the lying and all that's going on. And we have no right. We cannot expect to go back to Godhead if we act like this. So at the end, at the time of death, we will flee. We will beg Krishna to please remember us. We will beg him after so many years of service and everything. Please, Krishna, don't forget me. In the Sri Upanishad, the last verse, it says, I've tried to do my best with my life. Please don't forget me. That's all we have. We have nothing. At the end, many people ask you, yeah, you've done so many things, Krishna. So what's the advantage? What have you gained from it? Even sometime my mother, 97 years old, she's still living. And for 6 months now, she's chanting Hare Krishna. Before, she was simply giving me money because I've spent 50 years in this movement. I don't earn money. The day my mother passes away, I cannot even live in my own apartment because I can't pay the bill for it. So that's what she did. But then, now all of a sudden, she starts chanting Hare Krishna. I never preached to her and said, hey, you have to chant, you have to do. I never did that. I never. And all of a sudden, Krishna is giving her blessings. Because they are there, and now she's able to accept them. And she said, every day I put the Hare Krishna mantra in front of her bed. She's lying there, and the mantra is there, and she's chanting. And at the beginning, she couldn't even touch the beads because her hands are so old and all this. And she was crying because she couldn't touch the beads. Say, Mom, that's not important. Just chant Hare Krishna. Now she said, now I'm singing. Every night I'm singing. And the people in the old age home where she lives, they are coming and they're singing together. It's amazing. So Krishna is everywhere available. We just have to be straightforward and give him the opportunity. So he says, rather kindly bless us so that we can worship you with causeless devotional service. Causeless. You know, when we first come to the movement, if I chant Hare Krishna, I become a great yogi. Or if I chant Hare Krishna, I become liberated. So many promises. Of course, we will get all these promises. We all know we became liberated from eating meat, from drinking, from so many things. We are actually liberated, actually. But still, at the end, you are not doing what you're doing for any particular purpose. You're simply doing what you're doing for serving, for the pleasure of serving Srila Prabhupada and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And this is our incredible fortune. And we did not deserve this with anything, by pure causeless mercy. Causeless mercy, it says here. I don't know what time it is. So do we have maybe questions? Okay. Maybe questions, or I don't know. This clock says, you want to know what this clock says? It says 20 minutes to 11. That's what this clock says. Okay, I don't know who first. Let's take the Prabhu to be in good etiquette. Yes.
This was really, really a wonderful class. I'm very amazed. And it also shows that you are really authentic personality.
Thank you.
Yeah. So inside and outside is the same. It seems to me.
This is a compliment that I accept. It makes me very, very happy. And I'm thanking you, to you and Krishna, for you saying this to me. Mm-hmm. Because just these days, I don't know, yesterday when it happened, I was talking exactly about this. I said this authenticity. We are lost souls, all of us. We are coming from lectures, conditions, and we are so fortunate to be able to be here and to be able to even speak like this and feel like this. This is unbelievable. Thank you. Yes.
So you are also empowered by Krishna to do this job that you are doing.
Yes, somehow.
Thank you, Mother Dina Sharani, for coming here and blessing us. I have to repeat what Prabhu has said. This is such a wonderful class and so inspiring and encouraging, especially for those souls who are in female bodies. You are a very wise personality. I see that. You have seen much, you have learned much, and you're sharing a lot. So my humble request to you is, being a soul in a female body has many challenges. And one of the challenges is to deal with the men who are to deal with spirit souls in male bodies who are envious of you or resentful of you or look down on you and so on. So how
I'm
to
sorry,
deal...
I can't agree with you.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I understand your question.
Okay.
And I will try to answer it.
Okay. Thank you.
If I go with this mentality that you just described, this question was asked to me, I don't know, some 5 years ago, somebody asked, they say, how do I keep people from being envious of me? And I said, you know, it's like, you know this game, I don't know English, I'm sorry. There's a play, and then you shoot arrows on it, or you darts, or what, huh? Darts or arrows? Target. Huh? Target. A chart? Target. A target, yes, a target. So here we are. If you are the target, if you put yourself as the target, don't be surprised if you get hit. But if you yourself are in a place that you understand, I'm not this body, I am not female or male or all these things. And if somebody is in front of you and that person has not realized this yet, so not everybody is advanced, but it's our service to help them. And if they shoot, you put yourself in the middle of it, I'm a woman, and then now you're a man, you're going to hit me, I'm not going to let this happen. Don't be surprised if you become hit. But if somebody hit me, just move. Let the target go. That's their problem, it's not your problem. So depends with, if your glasses are pink, the world is going to be pink. But if your glasses are transcendental, then you will not be hit by anything anymore. So move away from, I'm a woman, and therefore, as long as you keep in that space, yes, still we are in this body, so we have to know the etiquette, how to behave properly, so that the men won't feel, oh, now these women, they are taking over and I feel bad. No, we are ladies, so we have to try to be gentle and polite and keep distance and all that. And then they will not be afraid because they say, oh, she knows how to behave properly. I don't need to attack her.
Thank you, Mother. That was a beautiful class and very inspiring. I feel, this is kind of, I guess, I feel very much Srila Prabhupada's spirit, this mood of, inclusiveness and transcendence. I was wondering if you can tell us, how do we achieve this mood of Srila Prabhupada? How do we bring that mood into our movement more? Because I definitely feel that coming from you. How do we imbibe this mood more clearly?
This is also a question I had myself when, I'm confronted with the same situation myself. So how do I say? I try to First of all, I remember when I first joined, 50 years back, I didn't know anything about Krishna. I mean, even today, what do we know about Krishna, really? But 50 years back, even less than now. And, I was taken by the fact that Prabhupada was able to bring so many young people together, everybody chanting Hare Krishna. And the message was, we are not this body, we are not men, we are not women, and we are all equal serving the Lord. This is what I understood the first day I came. And the second day I understood, wow, if I have a teacher who's teaching me this and I'm learning how to do it, then I'm indebted to this person to teach the same thing to others. But Prabhupada also said you cannot be a parent, a mother, a father, a teacher or anything if you're not self-realized, if you have not realized this. So you have the duty to learn the lesson yourself and then give this lesson to others. And then Krishna tests you. Said, have you learned the lesson properly? Have you? Oh, I'm so advanced, I'm chanting, I've been around so many years, I've this position, that position. Then Krishna brings a test, and the test doesn't work out because you are in illusion about your position, you are in illusion about your advancement, and all this. And every day you're fighting with your neighbor, you are agitated because he sings too loud, or he doesn't play the mridanga properly, or who knows what. Yes, but this is where we're learning. Every day Prabhupada says, like the potatoes, you put them together, all the potatoes in one sink, and they rub each other, and they all become clean in 5 minutes. But if you sit in your corner and you stick to your own, I am, me, I am so intelligent, I am so this and this and that. You are working hard, but you're not moving anywhere. The anchor is stick in the ground. I am, so important, I am. So you have to learn to move away from I am. I am simply a fallen soul, Prabhupada is telling us, and the only right we have is to chant Hare Krishna and do service. We are servants. We have to realize this. And if we realize this by washing the floor, by helping someone else, by being agitated, not being agitated when some other souls are... Yes. I mean, we are on a big road back to Godhead, all of us. Like it's the Kumbh Mela or something. Yes, and we are all going back to Godhead, all of us. Who are we in all this? We also have our craziness, mistakes, bad character, and whatnot. Still, all of us, we are walking, chanting Hare Krishna, going back to Godhead. And then if I have the opportunity to be on that way back, why should I say, hey, you are disturbing me, get out of here, leave me alone, who am I? No, we are all the same, and we are all together back to Godhead, all of us. And we have to learn to tolerate each other and to understand, I am not this body. I am not this headache. I'm not this pinching me, all these things. This food, the way eating, the way we sleep, the way we dress, the money we have or we don't have, all these things, we have nothing to do with all this. All this is something that's being given to us to serve Krishna and to go back to Godhead. So we have to practice every day, every day. And Prabhupada says the killer in all this is to talk bad about devotees. That's the killer. We are all sitting, if I observe the devotees, how much time the devotees are spending just talking about this one or that one, and so, have you heard about da-da-da-da-da? They are all involved in material things. And that's killing our spiritual life. There's no time for so much talking prajalpa and all this. There's no time for it. Our life is short. And pretty soon none of us know when we're going to die. And then when we die, then you're going to be sorry all of a sudden that you just spent a half an hour maybe blah, blah, about who knows what. It was a waste of time. Yes?
The scientist.
The name, his name is Heiko Falke. Heiko Falke. Yes. And just for you, since we're talking about this, I also sent Bhagavatam to the scientists who actually developed the COVID vaccine. Also them, you know, not that I necessarily agree with, but, you know, these were important people at that moment, so they all got Bhagavatams. Yes, back there, maybe somebody.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you very much again for this elaboration. You mentioned about this GBC and also about the whole class was based on service, even ISKCON. So we have seen if we don't have service in ISKCON, many devotees got initiated, and after a while, I don't have service in this temple, now I'm free. So we should encourage, how do we encourage devotees to get engaged? Right? You see, understand? Because many devotees, okay, we got initiated first and second and blah, blah, blah. And then after a while, or temple management or temple don't give them some service. So if we don't have service, then we see these devotees leave ISKCON, right? Or they go outside, or they got engaged in their family affairs and things like that, you know. So it's a bit, we are thinking that, we are looking into that, how we can get this family, ISKCON family, get together, unity, you know, uniting this family affairs in ISKCON, because after a while we see many devotees left ISKCON, why, blah, 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 because problems of management, problems of GBC and all these things, you know. So how we should get that unity in diversity? Right?
First of all, Srila Prabhupada said there is no material impediment to devotional service, to spiritual advancement, to spiritual life. And each one in general, especially as you said, these families, they think that they have so many reasons why they cannot practice their spiritual life. Because they think, oh, this is the reason, and this is so many children, and their health, and the job, and the money they have to earn, and so many reasons. The other thing is also, spiritual life is an individual matter. You cannot really, even Prabhupada said, it's individual. You cannot force anyone to do service and to be a devotee and to stick to their commitments. When I started my service and I realized what the extent of the job that I will have to and the amount of people that I have to cater to and all these things, the first months I spent, how am I going to talk to these people? How am I going to get in touch with them? How am I going to have them accept that they have to work with me? How, you know, that was the first question I had. And in Germany there is a law, a Grundgesetz it's called, I don't know if somebody, huh? Grundgesetz. It's English word also? Yeah, so I'm not sure the English word for it, but it's a law, it's a basic law by which everything else is resting. So we may agree or may not agree with it, but in this, first of all, the point is we, in Germany, this is a country, civilized country, and as devotees we are exotic, and we are, at that time, before real, terrorism started, we were the terrorists, so to say, you know? So that was the first question. How am I? And we were followed up by the sect department. They were following us, you know, to checking us and stopping us in the streets and all sorts of things. So my idea was how, if I'm German, even though I feel not really German, but I am, and I'm thinking, how am I going to teach this country that this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? This is the top that you can think of and everything. So the first is I have to understand myself that God is supreme, and I have to represent him in the best I can and behave the best, like I said before, so that the public can understand with their understanding of civilization, morality, education, that what these people are doing is fitting my ideal of education, you know, good civilization. The second, it says in the law, it says everybody has free will. Prabhupada also said, he said, everyone has the free, you cannot force anyone to be Krishna conscious. You have to inspire them to be Krishna conscious, and it's up to them how much they want and how much they don't want. So unfortunately, yes, it is. In this big amount of people, it says that among so many, there is one who's going to, among so many who understand, there will be one, and among so many, there will be, and on and on. So we have to understand and accept this, that there is free will. But now, for us, is to present to them what they're missing on it. If they come to Krishna consciousness and become initiated, it's because they asked for, they had a reason, they asked a question. In the meantime, they may have forgotten their own question, maybe. They are in Maya by now, and they have forgotten. But believe me, even in the books, it says Krishna never forgets his promise. And he promised that if we approach him, we just ask him, he will do everything necessary to save us to get the result that we have been asking for, even though we may have forgotten in the meantime. That is the story of the Pavijatra flower, that he promised his wife that he is going to bring the flower. For that, he is prepared to have war and whatnot to keep his promise. So this is the example. So yes, it is a fact that these people, they have a hard time. But then us as leader and as devotees, we first of all have to stop criticizing them for being in the situation they are, because we are not in any much better situation ourselves. And then maybe to think about what do they need to make it easy for them to take to Krishna consciousness, and try to accommodate, to make it possible for them to want to come. And it's, you know, this means it's a job. It's a job. You have customers, and what does the customer need for you to come in the shop and buy something from you? What do I need? I need a nice storefront. I need nice lights so they come and look at it. I need a chair so he can sit down when he comes and talks to me, and blah, blah, like this. Yeah? With some prasadam, and he feels comfortable. And then he likes to come to your shop, and then he buys this and buys that. So for all these people, we need to accommodate them to make it comfortable for them so they want to go there. And it's a big, big, big job. And there's no guarantee that you're going to be successful in every case, because people do have free will, and some they will take advantage of it and some will not. What to do? Huh? Yes.
So that they don't leave ISKCON, you know.
Okay, time is up, over. I mean, I don't mind to answer more questions if you want. Yes, please. But somebody has to, because I'm not hearing properly, it's far away.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Not a question, just that was such a wonderful class. And I've been practicing now for just around 3 years, and it's so inspiring.